Joey only, Cariboo weather dude. So I made my forecast yesterday for 4 days of thunderstorms, and of course, that has already changed. So I put that forecast out as soon as the modeling started to change, and it's like the bouncing ball. You got to kind of wait for it to settle. Today we have a better idea of when and how and where these storms are going to play out. In fact, we may have a week of instability and maybe a few days with some downtime, like maybe Friday and Saturday won't be quite as explosive. But I definitely have some good ideas on what's going on Thursday. This is Thursday at 8 a.m. And we're looking right now at convective available potential energy. Let's skip ahead to 11 a.m. So we see that rise in Cape, west of Kamloops, looking up towards the 100-mile house. So Cape and wind shear, definitely looking at this area being the area where thunderstorms might pop the strongest. Strong wind shearing up to the north and very little in this pocket down south. This could help fuel these storms to be a little bit more intense than maybe you're used to seeing. The inhibition to convective development. So we see that in behind, lifted index, that gives us an idea of what the clouds might be doing. So definitely, again, we're looking in that area, Cache Creek and north of, out to the Chilcotin, where we're seeing some of that lifted index. And there's definitely some helicity in the air. We bounce ahead to 2 o'clock. We see that area kind of expands. Convective available potential energy and wind shear up north of Kamloops. So we're talking about 100-mile house, perhaps the South Chilcotin 100-mile house, across maybe Green Lake and places like that, in between, over to Little Fort and up to Blue River. Those are the areas I think where the most severe thunderstorms are going to be. We're probably going to see a wider outbreak than that, of course, but it's that area that I'm gunning for to be, and you see how it moves across as we come into the nightfall. Stronger potential for thunderstorms there. And then I think this Rocky Mountain Trench, as you come into nightfall, that's 8 p.m. But if we go to 2300, that's still going on. I think there's going to be a real nice light show Thursday, the 17th. So we see this bending of one of the isobars here, always telling when we start seeing that troughing. By 11 a.m., we might see those first thunderstorms pop up without much rain north of Gold Bridge in the South Chilcotins. By noon, that expands out, maybe Lillooet. These aren't exact locations, we never know exactly where a thunderstorm is going to form, so that is the case. Yesterday I didn't have as good of an idea as I do today for where thunderstorms might be. And it looks like we're going to see more next week than maybe we first thought as well. So we got an extended period of thunderstorms now coming, not just 4 days. Certainly day one looks to be a real crasher. Clinton, Lillooet, 1 p.m., Logan Lake. These are areas that might see some strong activity. I don't think southern BC is going to get any severe ones. You might see some developments though. So here's the first chance for severe, I think, is really that Cache Creek, south of Savinaw, north of Merritt, that kind of area to the southwest of Kamloops. And then we start seeing by 2 p.m. our thunderstorms building up to the west of 100 Mile and west of 70 Mile. And these could be some pretty strong ones. So concerns for dry lightning, definitely Thursday at 2 p.m. in those areas. 3 p.m. we see the thunderstorm pattern expanding. Areas south of Kamloops, you may be in the target that day. Barrier, you might get your first round. This isn't exactly what it's going to look like the day of, but we have, more or less this gives you kind of an idea, a picture of what it could be like, reasonably so. Expanding again by 4 p.m. Strong thunderstorms probably moving south of Williams Lake, out by Hansville, down the Fraser River Valley. So definitely looking for the Fraser River Valley to have some strong thunderstorms at that time. We see these ones between Little Fort, 100-mile house, could see some very strong active elements. Definitely no stranger to severe storms in that area. 5 p.m. again, deepening in that Fraser River. Wow. Some big time potential. And that's when we start seeing that convective available potential energy start to ramp up too. So this has been changing around a little bit for where it could be. But yesterday when we first looked, there was no convective available potential energy. So we see that thunderstorms could become real explosive in the 100-mile house area, especially some of these ones though out by Blue River. We could see some thunderstella. And hey, even the cusp, you might get a nighttime show again or a late show that day. So we see that expanding out by 7 p.m. 1,400, almost 1,500 joules per kilogram of energy. So we're talking about some pretty explosive thunderstorm dynamics there now available. The potential for severe, potential for hail, heavy winds, heavy rain, and of course, the kind of weather that can spawn from those things, as you know, wind events. Not that I think tornadoes are going to happen, but you can never rule out that kind of thing. Just backtrack one more time Thursday, play the loop through, and watch how that kind of moves right through the central part of British Columbia. A lot of lightning going to pop up. A lot of lightning going to pop up. So definitely we have some changes. 8 p.m., 100 Mile House could still be getting it. Have some changes in the overall forecast this week. So now maybe some non-severe activity north of Prince George at 3 p.m. on Friday. So I was expecting to see things move to southern BC at that time, but we see that these patterns of storms that are going on in the United States aren't really making their way into southern BC on Friday. So I think Friday is kind of a down day for thunderstorms. Maybe by nighttime, Cranbrook area could see some lightning. And Saturday, we're looking at definitely on the coast mountains. Sunday, looking at coast mountains, Rocky Mountains, so definitely southwestern and southeastern BC being thunderstorm targets for that day now. So this is the change. I expected Thursday through Sunday, a larger week of thunderstorm activity still yet ahead, although I don't think we're going to see quite the severity next week. Once this heat breaks down, that fuel won't be there. We're seeing in the updated forecast the chances for thunderstorms Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even Thursday in southern BC. So we'll definitely be looking at these forecasts more and more. My big concern for today is the risk of wind. So here at 5 p.m., we're looking in the central interior at maybe some wind gusts pushing to 50 kilometers an hour. Down the Kootenays above 40 kilometers an hour. So 40, 45s. Definitely in the Chilcotin and into the far west Cariboo wilderness. We're looking at possibly some strong winds, 60k an hour, maybe near the Itches-Ogatches kind of area, 60 kilometers an hour and up. So that's concern for any fire that is seeing the heat today and the temperature. And of course, no stranger to wind gusts in northern BC up on the Peace River side, 70k an hour possible there. So those are wind gusts, but those kind of wind gusts, considering that we're looking at 28 degrees, say, in that random place I just picked outside of Williams Lake Quesnel, you start getting strong wind gusts in places like that. And it's only 11 a.m., but as you can see, we're pushing 30 degrees in a lot of places already. Today should be the hottest day. Okay, so those winds, dry air, hot weather, that could definitely fuel fire activity today. That's my concern. Thunderstorm big time for central BC on Thursday. All right, everyone, please stay tuned, subscribe, tell a friend, hit like, hit share, help me grow this channel, and stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. Bye.